if we continue to be politically correct, doing like the world, we are going to hell. You know, doing it politically correct, you know, what the world would say. But we're going to do it the way God says. And he says it here in the Bible. It's not about me, you, or us. It's all about the Father. Can you see? Just think it. Then go back into remembrance in your mind that when you start remembering, God has, you can see that God had his hand on you. Even before you knew him. Yes. Even in a time in my life when I thought I was so bad and having such a good time, I'm going to get out of a car moving. And I got out of it safely and just walked on. But I look back, that wasn't me. That was God.
That's right.
God had his hands on me.
That's right.
And like I said once before, trying to get home, everybody make that mistake. You got a storm coming, and everybody trying to get home to see about the cheering out of husband. God got it. Yeah. You trying to leave point A to get to point B, they already say you putting yourself in danger. Yeah. God, I went, and you know you're not supposed to go through no water. I went through some water. I couldn't even see, but I knew that water was up to the window. And I said, "Oh Lord," and God brought me through. Got me out. And that was a fool thing. But then when I go back and think, God had his hand on you. Yes, and if you go back in your life, you'll remember God has your hand on you, and he still does. All right. In this psalm is written by an old psalmist. It doesn't have any name, no author, but it can apply to all of us. You know, he was looking back over his life. You know, in the world, it's a song that says, "Looking Back Over My Life" by Sam Cooke. And he was looking back over his life. Yes. Well, I'm looking back over my life in the spiritual, in God. Yes. Because it's all talked about constantly here that we are in his care. Yes. And in verse 5, it says, "For thou art my hope, O Lord God. Thou art my trust from my youth." Yes, we, like Evangelist Gibson said, she said, children, youth, you're not, you're going to get some of this too. And as you continue to grow in the church, and Victor, Bishop's son, he's been coming to church ever since I can remember. I mean, raised up in the church, suits and all. He was there, you know, Tuesday night, Friday night. So he knows what it's all about. So even you call them PK kids, but you are training up your children so that in their youth they realize that it was God that was taking care of them. Amen. And verse 7 says, "I am as a wonder unto many, but thou art my strong refuge." Come on. He's telling us, and she, that his life is an example to us. As I see, as our church continue to grow, you know, things that Bishop used to do, I used to do, Bishop Woodford used to do. We can see the growth in the church. I used to do the announcements. Bishop used to clean the church. I used to run the youth department. Bishop did everything, made sure the ice was there, the water was there, everything, you know, running here and there. And now we sitting back, not that we have retired, because there is no place in the Bible that tells you that a believer has a retirement age. It's not here. So, but we can sit back and we can see the fruits of our labor as they continue to grow. And as Pastor here, Pastor Earnhardt, you can see the tutelage that Bishop is doing with him, because it's a process. We all have a process. I remember when the first time Kanitha came up to do the announcement, she was kind of quiet. But she got this now. She continues to get better at it. But see, we can see, as this man is talking about, his life is a testimony. Whenever God calls us home, Bishop, myself, some of the elders in this church, our legacy will be this church. It will be you all. The generations because of what Bishop has taught us. We should never take it for granted, our leaders. And this man was saying that his life is an example, and that God is his strong refuge. He continues to refer back and back to God because he knows where his help has come from. Yeah. It's come from God. But then he talks about in 9, cast me not off in the time of old age. Forsake me not when my strength faileth. You know what the world do as you begin to get older. That's when they got nursing homes, they got senior citizen places, they got all of them. The world got all of them. Come on. But he was asking God not to throw him away. Yeah. Because just because, well, I got it covered up today, just because my hair is gray and I'm walking a little slow, yeah, we are still useful. Yeah. Because we can tell you and lead you and guide you and help you on your way, yeah, to be leaders. Because like they said, it's a process. And that's why you ask God. Because when you step out there on your own and don't have God with you, oh, let me tell you, you will fall. Oh, trust me. That's right. You will fall. And then you trying to do it on your own? No. It ain't gonna work. It's a process. You can listen to me or you can't. We can listen to God or we can't. Right. You know what happens when we don't listen to God. Oh Lord, then we start crying and praising and asking him, and no, we done jacked up, screwed up, done everything. And then we want to call God and ask God to help us. We should have called him in the first place. This man is telling him, cast me not off in time of old age. Forsake me not when my strength fails. See, he knows God gives us strength. Just because our physical being is a little slow. Sometimes when I get up in the morning, you just sit there for a while and say, oh Lord, come on, oh Lord. Come on, yes you do. You kind of move around, as my husband say, you get to stretching, doing all the things. Amen. And all of that. I say, jumping, trying to get the breath. And then he calls and asks Bishop as he runs his 3 miles. So, even though that may have slowed down, but God will give you the strength. Yeah. God gives us the strength to do what he commands us to do. Not what we command to do. It's what God commands us to do. Yes, and then when we may not feel the strength from God coming until we step out there on faith. He told us to do it. Yeah. And if God told you to do it, then you just go on. Go on because you have faith. Because like the chaplain said, when you try to do it and run ahead of God, you can't birth nothing in the season yourself. You may think you can birth it, but you moving back and forth, trying to do this, trying to do that. And God says, stand still. That's what he means. Stand still. And as you know, as I see the church, where we going, sometimes some of us want to go a little faster, but right now, this is where God has us. Yeah. Where that comes from. This is where God has us. Yeah. But remember, he didn't give you a vision. He gave Bishop. Come on. He gave Bishop Gordon a vision. And then he reveals it to us. Yes. And if he told God told him that he's going to see the church build. Yes, and I'm going to be right there with him, pain and all, or whatever, but I'm going to walk in there with him. Yes, because God told him, and he stepped out on faith, and he believes it, and I believe it too. And then in 19 it says, thou righteous, 18, now also when I am old and gray-headed, O God, forsake me not, until I have showed thy strength unto this generation, and thy power to everyone that is to come. What is he telling them? God, as I continue to be here, giving him the strength so we can continue to teach the generation, the children, this child, Michaela over there. We have wisdom to give them and their parents. So, so